Hey guys, check out Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0, brought to you by Mama Jumbo Shrimp, a fully updated second edition, reviewed and revised by an expert panel of certified Italian wine ambassadors from across the globe. The book also includes an edition by Professore Attilio Scienza, Italy's leading vine geneticist. To pick up a copy today, just head to Amazon.com or visit us at mamajumboshrimp.com.
Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. I'm Cynthia Chaplin, and this is Voices. Every Wednesday, I will be sharing conversations with international wine industry professionals, discussing issues in diversity, equity, and inclusion through their personal experiences working in the field of wine. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and rate our show wherever you get your pods. Hello and welcome to Voices. This is Cynthia Chaplin, and today I'm very happy to welcome Fiona Chin to the show. Fiona was a recent Vinitaly International Academy student here in Verona, and she was successful in her quest to become an Italian wine ambassador, so I'm very happy to have her with me. Fiona's living in France, working for Wine Scholar Guild, and so she has a very interesting journey into wine. So I'm really happy to have you here today, Fiona. Thank you for giving us the time. I know our listeners are going to want to hear about how you got to where you are.
Hi, everybody. This is Fiona from not so sunny Dijon, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you, Cynthia.
You're welcome. Well, of course, you are living in France and working for Wine Scholar Guild, but that is not where your wine journey started. So let's hear, how in the world did you get into wine? Because I know you've come through Singapore and Taiwan. Where did you have your first glass of wine? What got you into wine?
I can't really recall my first glass of wine, but how I got into wine, Italian wine specifically, was back in 2016 that I've been working for the design industry for some time. My background was in English literature in industrial design, but I've always had this kind of like thirst and hunger for Italian wine cuisine. So I decided that I want to move to Italy and learn how to cook. So I spent 8 months in Asti, in Torino, went to the cooking school, and I actually did the internship in the Italian Michelin star restaurant in Torino.
Fantastic.
That's one of the most ancient Italian restaurants in Italy or even the world.
I think we all know the name.
Yeah, it was just amazing. And like, when you're eating, you have to drink wine, right? And I was just so fortunate that for me, I was the first proper introduction to wine was Barbaresco, Barolo, Dolcetto, Barbera. I was very fortunate that I was.
You were. That's a much classier story than, most people, myself included, started off with really bad wine and got interested and worked their way.
Yeah.
You started at the top. You have nowhere else to go now.
Yes. No, there's no return. So you can see why I'm here in Burgundy now. So my appetite for good wine is just like, I started with the best. I have to, continue with this route. So,
well, which is excellent. So, and let's just face facts here. I'm a lot older than you.
Not that older, to be honest.
Neither of us are Italian, so it's always a challenge coming to Italy and getting into, the enogastronomy sector as a foreign woman. So, when you first came to Asti to go to the school to learn how to cook and started working in the industry, in the Michelin, especially in the Michelin industry, how did it go for you? Did people take you seriously as a, relatively young foreign woman?
To be honest, it was so difficult.
I bet it was.
It was so difficult because I had no previous experiences in the kitchen. And so even though I did a course in Italian cuisines, it was nothing like actually working in a Michelin star restaurant. My friends, they will joke around and call me Principessa Taiwanese, or just like Princess Mulan, because, I wonder, have you ever watched the movie Mulan?
Oh my God, that's just outrageous, Princess Mulan.
Yeah, because she was like, they will call me that like a total gazino, because I am just not there. I just couldn't do it. Like physically, it just so so much. I need to work like 17 hours a day from Tuesday to Sunday. And we have to do lunch service and dinner service. And we can't, just like when you're there, you don't stop. It was just crazy. So like for after a couple of months, I was like, okay, been there, done that. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to drink wine. That's all. So
That's incredible. I think so many of us started, on the floor. Like my brother is the chef owner of a restaurant. A lot of people in the sector started on the floor in hospitality, and it is an incredibly hard life. I mean, I know my somm days on the floor was very short because it wasn't that wasn't what I wanted to do. So what did you do next? You decided you wanted to drink wine. You didn't want to be in the kitchen anymore. Quite a wise decision, frankly. So what was the next step?
I moved back to Taiwan. I started to work as a brand ambassador for Italian restaurant chain. So I was their brand ambassador, and they also do food and wine product imports. So I was actually like selling direct to consumers, introducing them to Italian culture, teaching Taiwanese consumer about, okay, how can you utilize the beautiful Italian food products, the cheese, the pasta, and then incorporate them into the daily Taiwanese sort of like food habits. So that was my job.
And how did that go? How did that go? I'm interested in Taiwan. How did they take to having Italian wine and food introduced to them? Because it's so different from Taiwanese food.
Yeah, but actually there's a lot of similarity, to be honest. Like I was for example, botaga. Botaga is like the mullet roll. Yeah, and actually we have something similar in Taiwan. It's just like different kinds of approach that we use it differently. But when I try to introduce them, like, okay, we have something like that, but it's called 乌鱼子 in Chinese, and then people start to understand, and then so it's actually uh, a lot of similarities that we can find in Taiwanese cuisine, in the Italian cuisine, because we are all the two cultures. We are very passionate about our food. So
That's pretty cool. So basically, you became a food translator. That's actually very cool.
yeah, yeah. So I started out in food, but then I pivot to wine. So yeah, it's a long journey, but I mean, I'm very happy where I am right now. Yeah.
Well, then you went on to Singapore, and now you're back in France. So it's been quite a lot of ocean crossing for you. And studying wine in the meantime. You've gotten your MBA in wine and spirits. And what other studies did you do before you came to VIA?
Yeah, so I've completed my WST level 3 and level 2, level 3, and also in spirits. And I'm just about to graduate from my MBA in wine and spirits. That was a lot. And I just did my thesis in consumer perception about sustainability in wine. So I did that.
That's such an interesting topic.
I was very lucky to have a master of wine, Stephen Charter, as my thesis professor. So that was very interesting. And also, since I've been living in Burgundy, so I've been taking the course from Wine Scholar Guild, the master program for Burgundy wine, and also Italian wine as well. And I will have to say, like, living Italy, the VIA program has been the most challenging, but also the most gratifying experience all throughout all of my wine studies. So
I'm so glad to hear that. It sounds like we almost lost you to the clutches of the French. So I wonder, when did you hear about VIA? How did you hear about that?
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local foods, and taking in the scenery. Now, back to the show.
So actually, it's like back in 2019 that before moving to Singapore, I that's when I decided that okay, I want to do wine. So I reached out to. I really love about one thing I really love about VIA is the community. So I reached out to Amelia. She's ambassador based in Taiwan, and I also reached out to Jessica and Wan Xing, and they're the other two ambassadors in Singapore. Because what I know is that I love about Italian wine, and I want to know more about Italian wine because I know it's very difficult, it's very complicated. And I did some research, and then I stumbled upon Italian wine ambassador program. So that is when I feel like okay, this is the path that I want to pursue, and I reached out to them, and they've been very helpful in helping me getting here. So like the day when I passed my exam, I immediately text Jessica, and I just told her that oh my gosh, I passed. And she has been there for me like throughout this year because of a COVID. I was supposed to come to Verona back in 2020, but
I know, I remember.
but then we did the agile, but then back in the past couple of years, things has been crazy. I've been moving from Singapore to France, and with my studies in MBA, I just couldn't make it. So it just has been postponed for so long. But then I feel like if if I would have if I came here in 2020, I wouldn't have passed, because I feel like in wine world, it's really like the more you know, the more you don't know.
That's so true.
So yeah, so it's really lucky that I feel like everything happens for a reason. So I just feel like okay, 2023, I'm ready, I'm here. So yeah, I was able to get the paying, and then yeah, it was just amazing.
Well, we were so grateful to have you, and you had a great study group, and you had a great video group, and I wanted to ask you what you thought of that process about, as you said, you fell in love with the community, which always makes me super happy because I think that's one of the best things about VIA. We don't just put you through a course, give you a pin, and kick you out the door. You become part of the community, and we do trips and other things throughout the year. And even if you don't pass, you're still involved. So I'm really glad that you appreciated that. But I want to hear about your experience once you got here, because you waited long enough to come due to COVID and everything else. And so many people were so disappointed during that time. I'm always happy to speak to people who eventually got here. You stuck to your guns, you got here. And how was it for you? The 4 days of the course are pretty intense. You had to do the video project. But tell me how it was.
So I was very lucky that I was able to did the video project with Susanna, Sean, and Jamie. So Sean and I, we actually met back in Singapore, so that was nice. And Susanna, she's based in Hong Kong, and she approached me, and I was like, yeah, why not? And Jamie, he was like, because there's a couple of Asians, Chinese, Taiwanese that based in France, but he was the odd number, so so he was like, he approached me and said, hey Fiona, do you need a group? And I was like, yeah, why not, just join us. So that was all very nice, because you know what, like even though we are all Asians, but we come from different parts of Asia. We have people from China, Taiwan, Singapore, and Hong Kong. So we were able to, come together and then bring something different, that we want to showcase how Italian wine could prepare with Chinese, Asian cuisines, but not just like Chinese cuisine, but cuisines from Southeast Asia and from Taiwan. So that was really great. And we actually we became very close. And Susanna, Sean, and I, we after the VIA, we actually went on the trip to Trentino Alto Adige and to Lugano, and it was just amazing. Like we were able, because it's just not the language that we share. It's not Chinese or English. It's Italian one language that we share. So
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Yeah, so like we really speak each other's language, and it was just amazing. Like, and then after even until today that we were still chatting, we was just like sharing like what's happening in our lives, what we are drinking, and what have we found in back in Susanna's back in Hong Kong, but she was just sharing that she found a bottle of wine that the of the wine that we visited back in Alto Adige. So it was just like, yeah, this is I'm just really lucky and very happy that I am part of this community. And yeah, so
I love this. I love the idea of working on food and wine pairings, taking Italian wine and pairing with other cuisines. I do that a lot in my own sort of work outside of the podcast, and it is fascinating. And to have a group from so many diverse, as you said, Southeast Asian backgrounds. And to do that project together was really cool. It was interesting. So now what are you going to do? You're, as you know, we know you're doing social media and marketing for Wine Scholar Guild. You're in Dijon, poor you. So terrible in Dijon. I don't know how you said it.
yeah, poor me. But you have no but you have no idea. Like, I mean, Burgundy is great for the wine, but not for the weather. Seriously, the weather is not as sunny as it's not as sunny and warm in Verona. I'm just so jealous of you guys.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to convince people to feel sorry for you living your life in Burgundy. But what are your next steps? What are you hoping to do? Where do you see yourself going now that you've got the title? You're an Italian wine ambassador. What do you want to do with it?
Thanks to the community. Like I knew from Amelia back when I was in Taiwan, and now I've traveled. I've finished my MBA diploma, and I was just after I received my ping. Actually, Amelia and I we had this conversation that we want to. For me, is that I want to go back to Taiwan and then to reach out to more people back in Asia, and then I want to teach them about Italian wine. So basically, that is my goal. I want to teach wine.
This is fantastic news for me because, of course, you know that we don't just have the Italian Wine Ambassador program at Vinitaly International Academy. We also have the Maestro program, and our Italian wine ambassadors teach that in their home countries. So you've just opened the door for me, Fiona. I'm going to grab you and turn you into a
yes.
maestro educator because I really would love to see you spreading this news to Taiwan. You're such a good ambassador. You're perfect for what we want to take this information home and really make it happen in your own country. That's exciting.
Yeah, like that's what we want to do. We just want to because Italian wine is just so fascinating. It's just not one grape. It's just not just Pinot Noir.
Heck
It's just
no,
not.
heck no.
No, yeah, it's just so many, and so for me, that is really my passion. I just love sharing what I know, and I know how to communicate to just normal people, like people that maybe because wine is not a daily. It's not a day to day drink in our culture. It's always considered as something special, something a bit of a luxury. But I want to, tell them that no, you can just incorporate that into your day to day life. That you can pair Moscato d'Asti with stinky tofu, and that will be great.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's I think that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully that's going to happen soon enough.
What's the Italian wine market in Taiwan like? I mean, is Italian wine available? Are people interested?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of interest right now, and I'm just like in Taiwan, we have this group of Italian wine importers. We have a group of Italian wine lover enthusiasts. We have a little bit of a Italian wine community in Taiwan that is very strong, and then we have uh wine exhibitions exclusive for Italian wines, and it's it's a small but very strong community that we have in Taiwan for Italian wines. So there's definitely a lot of interest now, and there's getting more, but I guess like for a lot of consumers, when they were introduced to wine, they first started to drink yellowtails. They started to drink a little bit of a Bordeaux wine. But now people, when they are a bit acquainted to wine, they will know that Italian wine. There's just so many things that are just so exciting.
Well, I'm thrilled, and I know that, you'll take your enthusiasm and your, brilliant personality and your new Italian wine knowledge and be a huge success as an Italian wine ambassador in Taiwan. So I'm excited to see what you do, and I'm gonna nag you to become a maestro educator. But thank you so much, Fiona, for coming on today. I really am happy to have chatted with you about France and Singapore, Taiwan, and wine. This was a really fun conversation. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Cynthia. Grazie mille. And I hope to see you soon. I don't know where, but definitely.
Somewhere our wine paths will cross. So, Chin Chin Fiona, ciao. Thank you so much.
Ching ching. Ciao ciao. Grazie. Ciao.
Thank you for listening, and remember to tune in next Wednesday when I'll be chatting with another fascinating guest. Italian Wine Podcast is among the leading wine podcasts in the world and the only one with a daily show. Tune in every day and discover all our different shows. You can find us at ItalianWinePodcast.com, SoundCloud, Spotify, Himalaya, or wherever you get your pods.